Now, I thought exercise helped relieve stress. And let me just take a brief crack at that, and then I'll let you answer. I think we're just kind of talking about the difference here between moving your body regularly and busting your butt to the point of putting your body into panic mode. Is that about your assessment?
Yes, that's exactly right. So I'm not saying don't exercise. That's really a good point. And this is people say this to me all the time. Well, I thought exercise is good for stress. It is good for stress. The thing that you have to remember, you guys, is that exercise itself is stress. So you have to look at how many stressors are going into your personal bucket, your personal stress bucket. Are your finances good? Do you drink too much? Do you smoke too much? Do you not drink enough water? Are you eating good food? If all systems are go and you've got good food in your tank and you're able to handle your stressors pretty well, and you balance it out with quiet time instead of staying on the computer till 12 o'clock at night and watching really exciting TV and then going to bed at 2 and then getting up at 6 and then going out and working out, that can eventually cause things like heart attacks or chronic pain and fatigue. So yes, exercise is good for stress release, but it depends on what else is going on in your life. So if you've got all these other things going on over here in your stress bucket, and that's what I look at as a holistic lifestyle coach, I'm going to say to you, your engine's running pretty hot and you're going to burn out. So we need to give you a different way of relieving your stress, which could be exercise, but it may be turning the volume down a little bit on the pace that they're working at. And that's a really hard thing for some people to do because they're hooked on the chemicals that are produced by the body when they exercise hard, the endorphins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those can be addictive, just like opiates or anything.
Right.
Yeah. So what kind of? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I hope I answered the person who was asking the question. I hope that answered their question. In a nutshell, yes, you do have to work out. You do have to move. But if your body is hammered, doing hardcore exercise is not good for you. It's not going to make you healthy. It might make you fit, but you're not going to be healthy. So there's a difference between being fit and being healthy and fit.
Absolutely. In fact, we can see this in a lot of celebrities. There was a story on the news a few years ago. What was the fellow's name? I don't remember it. I see his face. Maybe you can remember it. But I believe he perforated his aorta while he was lifting weights in the gym, and it killed him instantly. Do you remember who that was?
Well, I remember a guy. He was an Australian actor that he held his breath. He was doing too heavy of a lift, and I don't think he perforated his aorta, but he had a stroke. He blew a blood vessel, which can happen. So I'm not familiar with that particular story, but you know what? It doesn't surprise me, especially these actors who have to get in shape for a role.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
and some of them gain 50 pounds of fat for a role, and then they have to lose that and put on 20 pounds of muscle for another role, and they're really yo-yoing, and so they're getting quote-unquote fit, but they're damaging their bodies so much that they're not healthy.
Absolutely.
And that's really what we want to do. I mean, what's the point of being fit if you're not also healthy?
Right. And that's the message that I want to give everybody. Being fit doesn't mean you're healthy.
Absolutely. Okay, we need to go to one more commercial break, and actually this is our second of 3, and then we'll be right back and talk about more of what you can do to get that fat off and flatten that abdominal wall.